is Stefania, and we're back with the next part of Jack and the Beanstalk. If you remember from the last time, Jack had taken the giant's gold. Is that going to be a problem now? He brought it home to his mom, and they kind of lived on it. Let's go on with the story now. So, they lived on the bag of gold for some time, but at last they came to the end of it. So Jack made up his mind to try his luck one more time. And once more up to the top of the beanstalk. So, one fine morning, he got up early and got onto the beanstalk. And he climbed, 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 till at last he got on the road again and came to the great big tall house he had been to before. There, sure enough, was the great big tall woman a-standing on the doorstep. "Good morning, Mum," says Jack as bold as brass. "Could you be so good as to give me something to eat?" "Go away, my boy," said the big tall woman, "or else my man'll eat you up for breakfast." "But, oh, aren't you the youngster who came here before? Do you know, that very day my man missed one of his bags of gold?" "That's strange, ma'am," says Jack. "I dare say I could tell you something about that, but I'm so hungry I can't speak until I've had something to eat." Well, the big tall woman was that curious that she took him in and gave him something to eat. But he had scarcely begun munching it as slowly as he could when thump, 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 they heard the giant's footsteps, and his wife hid Jack away in the oven. All happened as it did before. In came the ogre, as he did before, and said, "Fee, fi, fo, fum," and had his breakfast of 3 broiled oxen. Then he said, "Wife, bring me the hen that lays the golden eggs." So she brought it, and the ogre said, "Lay," and it lay an egg all of gold. And then the ogre began to nod his head. Oh, fell asleep. Anyhow, the ogre began to nod his head and to snore till the house shook. Then Jack crept out of the oven on tiptoe and caught hold of the golden hen and was off before he could say, "Jack Robinson. Jack Robinson, I say." But this time the hen gave a cackle which woke the ogre. And just as Jack got out of the house, he heard him calling, "Wife, wife, what have you done with my golden hen?" And the wife said, "Why, my dear." But that was all Jack heard, for he rushed off to the beanstalk and climbed down like a house on fire. And when he got home, he showed his mother the wonderful hen and said, "Lay," to it, and it laid a golden egg every time he said, "Lay." Well, Jack was not content, and it wasn't very long before he determined to have another try at his luck up there in the top of the beanstalk. So one fine morning, he got up early and went on the beanstalk, and he climbed, 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 till he got to the top. But this time he knew better than to go straight to the ogre's house. And when he got near it, he waited behind a bush till he saw the ogre's wife come out with a pail to get some water. And then he crept into the house and got in. He hadn't been there very long when he heard thump, 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 as before, and in came the ogre and his wife. "Fee, fi, fo, fum," I smell the blood of an Englishman, cried the ogre. I smell him, wife, I smell him. Do you, my dearie? Says the ogre's wife. Then, if it's that little rogue that stole your gold and the hen that laid the golden eggs, he's sure to have got into the oven. And they both rushed to the oven, but Jack wasn't there. Jack wasn't there, luckily. And the ogre's wife said, There you are again with your fo-fee-fum. Why, of course, it's the laddie you caught last night. You had him for breakfast. How forgetful I am, and how careless you are not to tell the difference. So the ogre sat down to breakfast and ate it, but every now and then he would mutter, Well, I could have sworn. And he'd get up and search the larder and the cupboards and everything, only luckily he didn't think of the copper. After breakfast was over, the ogre cried out, Wife, wife, bring me my golden harp. So she brought it in and put it on the table before him. Then he said, Sing. And the golden harp sang most beautifully, and it went on singing until the ogre fell asleep and commenced to snore like thunder. Then Jack lifted up the copper pot lid very quietly and got out down like a mouse and crept on hands and knees till he got to the table, when he got up and caught hold of the golden harp and dashed it towards the door. But the harp called out quite loud, Master! Master! And the ogre woke up, and just in time to see Jack running off with his harp. Jack ran as fast as he could, and the ogre came rushing after, and would soon have caught him, only Jack had a start, and dodged a bit, and knew where he was going. When he got to the beanstalk, the ogre was not more than 20 yards away, when suddenly he saw Jack disappear like. And when he got up to the end of the road, he saw Jack underneath, climbing for dear life. Well, the ogre didn't like trusting himself to such a ladder, and he stood and waited. So Jack got a bit further ahead, didn't he? He got another start. But then the harp cried out, Master, Master! And the ogre swung himself down onto the beanstalk, which shook with his weight. Down climbs Jack, and after him climbed the ogre. By this time Jack had climbed down, and climbed down, and climbed down, till he was very nearly home. He was very nearly home. So he called out, Mother, Mother, bring me an axe, bring me an axe. And his mother came rushing out with the axe in her hand. But when she came to the beanstalk, she stood stock still with fright, for there she saw the ogre just coming down below the clouds. But Jack jumped down and got hold of the axe and gave a chop at the beanstalk, which cut it in half, in two. The ogre felt the beanstalk shake and quiver, so he stopped to see what was the matter. Then Jack gave another chop with the axe, and the beanstalk was cut into two and began to topple over. Then the ogre fell down and broke his crown, and the beanstalk came toppling after. Then Jack showed his mother his golden harp, and what with showing that and selling the golden eggs, Jack and his mother became very rich, and he married a great princess, and they lived happily ever after. That's the story. Jack and the Beanstalk. He came out okay in the end. But was he a bit naughty? Or was he a bit clever? You decide. We'll be back again soon with another story. We're carrying on with Uncle Wiggily's adventure. We'll be back with that soon. And our surveys show that some of you are hungry for some more riddles. So we'll work on coming up with some good ones for you. And if you want to find out when the next story is out, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification button. Then YouTube will let you know. We'll tell you there's another story waiting for you. And there'll be all sorts of other fun things as well. And if you have any suggestions, something you would like to see us do, pop a comment in our community section on the channel. We'll have a look and we will 100% do our best. That's it for now. Be good, stay well, take care.